Gemini, so I'm cleaning up the last reading, but I wanted to get in as quick as I could to your energy. May do a little bit of cleansing first, just to clear the last energy off of the table. I have this homemade purifying spray. So we'll just let that kind of do its thing. And so yeah, they got these crystals up here too. We've got amethyst. See, that leaf just came down. Celestite and citrine, and then this one over here, you can't really see it. Spirit cactus quartz. Those are like my favorites. But just for some little cleansing action, we can bring in some selenite and quartz. I just recently started working with crystals, like seriously, and been having a lot of fun. So I'm asking about major energies. This one's really sticking out to me, the 10 of Pentacles, which is good. You want the 10 of Pentacles as an overarching energy. This is something I've been trying with this February's zodiac. I want to, this is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, by the way. It's a love reading for February. I haven't been saying that, but I want to try just picking out like 3 cards that are overarching energies. God, you're getting a lot though. I've had the cards kind of bust out a few times. I'm gonna shuffle, give it a good cleansing shuffle. Do a couple deep breaths here. If you want to do that too, that would be really helpful for me. We can connect over time and space. And you can send me your cleansing breaths for your reading. Okay. Feel the need to cleanse for you guys. So we've got, oh my god. Okay. We've got the 9 of Swords and the Sun. So we have dualistic energies here. Anxiety, turmoil, nightmares, and the Sun is like happiness. You might be feeling like you're going back and forth. You might be moving out of an energy of anxiety. You might be, and I think this is true for a lot of you, especially because you are an air sign. You're in a good place, or you've moved recently into a good place, and you're just like still hurting. There's things that still need to be balanced out. And I say, especially because you're an air sign, I say that because air signs tend to overthink. So, you know, even when things are really good, you can be like, your mind can be like reeling. So, so I've pulled these cards just so we can look at tying this into love. Things might be good in the relationship that you're in right now, but there's still this like underlying feeling of anxiety. 10 of Swords. This is painful endings that need to happen. And this is, we're going to say this is the past. That's what I'm feeling. So we'll do 4 cards for the past. I feel like doing more structure for you guys too. 4 cards for the future, or the present, excuse me. And then we'll do the outcome, and then we'll do clarifiers and stuff. So in the past, we have this painful ending, things returning to balance, but there's still like communication happening. something coming towards you, a new thought form coming towards you with the Knight of Swords. This can be like an idea that's coming into your space, or this can just be somebody coming towards you that's delivering a speech and being like, I feel this way because XYZ, and I feel blah blah blah, and saying that to you. And the reason why I say communication is because the Magician is here, which is a Mercury card. You're ruled by Mercury if you're a Gemini sun or a rising. So, but you have a Mercury influence if you have any major Gemini placements anyway. So this is very much your energy. These swords, Libra, if you have Libra involved, Mercury here, little Pluto too, I want to say, so like Scorpio energy here too. But you've got these like major arcana here with the overarching energy of the sun. This is a desire to be happy. There are some obstacles, and if you look at the Sun card, this is the happiest card of the tarot, but there's this wall here, and it's a matter of, there are always going to be hurdles that you have to jump to keep yourself in this energy, and there's always going to be hurdles that you have to jump to keep yourself in a negative energy too. It's it feels easier, but only because of karmic patterns, because of trauma, because things that have informed you on how to keep yourself in a negative state. So just view these like dualistic energies as just like, they're polar opposites. They're kind of like polar energies. There's a spectrum of feeling and emotion, and just as you struggle to be happy, you have to struggle in order to feel badly. And yeah, that's just something that I want to say here, and maybe that will resonate with some of you. It's just a different way of looking at depression and anxiety, and I know it's like way easier said than done, but it can be helpful. In the present, we have the 10 of Cups, and we also have the 7 and the 8 of Wands. Now these have been shuffled, like totally shuffled, for a long time, but these have come out in like pretty close to one another. The thing that's missing here is the 8 of Wands, which is like a quick communication. So maybe you might be missing communication, not communicating with somebody, and both of these energies are very similar. It's like fighting for something. This is like bravery and moving forward, fighting for a cause that you believe strongly in, fighting for your happiness, and I think it's really powerful to see these Wands energies with the Queen of Cups, because she is so sensitive, and she can be so sensitive that she has trouble doing anything but feeling bad, or feeling not necessarily bad, but just feeling everything. It might be hard for her to actually, like, as the Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Wands might, go forth and conquer, and her with the Wands energy is very strong. So, I want to say, I'd have to look at my journal where I keep all of the associations, and I don't have it on me, but I believe, oh, here. Okay, we can look at this. Because the Queen of Cups is obviously a water sign, but there are associations with other signs that are not in the same element. Let me find what it is for the Queen of Cups, because I want to say that it's Gemini. It is. It's Gemini and Cancer, just like I thought. So this energy is you. You can be the Queen of Cups energy here, and often are. Geminis are super sensitive on a air sign level. So Geminis are super prone to anxiety and over sensitivity, hypersensitivity, that kind of thing. So I think like there's a very fuzzy energy. Like I'm seeing like a TV, like an old TV, when you turn it on and there's no connection to like cable or whatever, those like TV static lines. That's like kind of what I'm seeing. And this card reminds me very much of that, and especially when it's like super loud. I hate that like audio interference thing that it does. It's so annoying. We have the Magician again, 4 of Wands, just like fighting for harmony, basically. It's something that you really strongly desire right now. I don't see someone immediately around you. I think you've walked away from somebody, you had like a painful ending, but I think that you're single right now. Most of the people watching this are, and I don't think that there's anybody that's really like immediately in your area. It doesn't mean that nobody's coming towards you. We haven't done like the future yet, the future part of this reading, but this is just establishing the energies that you're in right now. And I think that you are fighting, doing some internal fighting. I think you had a long ending with somebody where there was like a lot of communication. We have the Sun again, 6 of Swords, moving away from somebody, and Queen of Cups. So just repeating energy. So we're seeing everything that we're meant to see here. 6 of Swords is moving away from an old energy, and it can be pretty slow. It's like you're moving towards it, but it's not like the Chariot where it's like this like whoosh. It's like you're kind of going down the river, you know what I mean? So we're going to do cards now for future, for the outcome of this situation. Maybe we can pick up on some energies that are coming towards you. Okay, self-defense. We have self-defense. So somebody is going to come towards you in a combative way. Maybe this person that you had to walk away from. And there's also going to be an offer of love. This might go hand in hand. Like this person comes in and says, I really want to be with you. And then there's like communication about this love offer. So you might still be defending yourself from this old energy. 2 of Cups to me is like new energy and like soulmate energy. And the 2 of Cups is very healing. So I don't know that it would be this connection necessarily, but it can be. And this is like you're taking your time to kind of respond. Not really taking your time, but you're taking, because you think really quickly. I don't think that you're taking your time at all, but I think that you're like evaluating and waiting to respond until you know exactly what you want to say. And just like I said, like very healing. It's not a mistake. I put this one on top of the 2 of Cups. The Star. The Star is about healing. It's about getting attention too. Ace of Wands, new passion, and then we have Neptune energy, Pisces, and Scorpio. So you got a lot of water in this. You're probably going to be dealing with a water sign in the future. But I think you're suspended in this like purgatory. Oh, here we go. Okay. Not for long. We have the Chariot. So like I said, with the 6 of Swords is kind of like a meandering. The Chariot is this like full force, like, and it's interesting because the Swords is usually the one that is this energy, like full speed ahead. Like if you look at this, the Knight of Swords that came up for you in the past, he is really quick. And the 6 of Swords is a very slow, methodical energy, and the Cups are usually, it's not that they're slow, it's just they don't usually move very well. But water can also be, it's about moving based on intuition, and this is like a good connection with your intuition that causes you to move, being able to feel this healing energy, this like good beneficial energy right here. That's what you're feeling, and that's what's like propelling you forward. This could be an earth sign, female, feminine energy. Doesn't need to be, gender doesn't really matter here, but it's just the archetypes that we're talking about. So High Priestess, this person is just like you, really intuitive and really good at communicating. Those are going to be the things that you're going to connect on, that you relate to them on. That's the reason why you're attracted to them. They have stability that you want. They have like you, when you approach them, you see something in them. It's like you go over to their house and they have not necessarily like their things, but it's like their routines, the way that they do things, their relationships with their family, their dog, their whatever. These things really appeal to you and like make you feel really safe and make you excited. And they also like they're like a mirror to you. They reflect you in some way, where they're like super intuitive, but on this like it's like both of you have your logic and your intuition like totally entwined, which Gemini is a great example of that. But I mean, everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses, and astrology doesn't, on like a birth chart, doesn't necessarily account for all the experiences that you've had. But like Geminis kind of innately know how to be logical and intuitive at the same time. Queen of Cups energy. And the world is a completion of a cycle. So like these old energies, it's like when you the catalyst for removing these like more negative energies, the barrier is like getting into this new space. So you're not necessarily going to feel better about these old things that have happened until you can prove to yourself that you aren't going to be trapped in those cycles, basically. And there's someone coming towards you that's going to heal you. I wouldn't rely on them for healing. I always say this, but codependency, watch out for codependency if you're relying on somebody for healing you, because you can be like go into a space where you're like not willing to let them go. Commitment here, where you're not willing to let them go because you don't think, oh my god, the major arcana. This is a warning. It's literally exactly what I was saying. If you hang on too tightly, if you get too comfortable, and get too like controlling, and you control the narrative, you're going to suffer for it. So it's like you're gonna see that you can leave these old cycles behind when you move into this new relationship, but you have to, because you're gonna be, I don't want to scare you, but you're definitely gonna be punished if you do these things that you know that you're not supposed to. This relationship isn't a karmic one that's meant to come in and have somebody treat you like shit and be a piece of garbage to you, but you are now being tested, and you'll get these like amazing rewards if you do well in this relationship, and you'll be really happy, and the universe is going to give you a really good chance here for a commitment, and for a relationship that will like literally stand the test of time if you want it to. I know Gemini Venus like doesn't really like hearing that, but some of you might. I don't know what your other placements are. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you. This Two of Pentacles is exactly like that balance. It's a choice. It's how you sail your boat in rocky waters. Like, do you just say fuck it and act like an asshole and like treat this person like crap, or do you go forward knowing what you've learned, your experience in rocky waters, and do you give them the best of you and who you can be? And stability is really like a big theme here too. Again, it's a choice. You know exactly what you have to do, but be careful not to fall into old patterns. That's what I'm gonna say, because you could definitely do that. Okay, so we're gonna draw some Black Moon astrology cards. Saturn, the truth. Saturn is not Jupiter, so Jupiter will put things in front of you that you can handle. Saturn will put things in front of you that you have to prove that you can handle. So, you know, if you've been like asking for this happiness, this like blessing that comes in the form of a relationship with somebody, Saturn's gonna say, here, I'll give it to you, but I'll take it away if you don't treat it nicely. And Saturn's doing some interesting things with Pluto right now, so this is very apt. But this is also timeless, so if you come across this and you're like, this applies, and it's like 2 years after you posted it, then work with it. So Aries coming up as I am, so you can use affirmations if you want to guide yourself through this experience. It's like putting your money where your mouth is. Like, that's the saying that I'm hearing. Like, you have said that you want this healthy relationship, you've said that you want somebody to come through and do all of these things in your life, offer you stability. I think some of you might have control issues, and some of you might project a lot onto your relationship. So like, maybe you have trust issues with something, and so you'll just be like, I don't want you to go out with your friends tonight, because if you go out, I'm gonna freak out and I'm gonna cry, because I've had somebody do that to me before, where they like cheated on me, and like, now I don't want you to do that, or you know, things like that. Like, it's like, you've said that you're not going to do those things anymore. You've told Saturn, like, hey, give me this thing, build up this thing for me, this strong foundation. And Saturn is telling you, okay, handle it, like, deal with it, figure it out. And it's going to be tough to keep it if you don't treat it nicely. Let's see if we have any final messages here. 5 of Pentacles again. Yep. Sorry, I got interrupted. But anyway, I was talking about the 5 of Pentacles, I believe, which is like, there's a dualistic energy there. It's moving away from like a lack mindset about things, and moving away in this context in love from like old bad habits that keep you in these cycles of being impoverished of love. The Ace of Wands is new passion, new projects, and like in this context, this came out reversed, which I feel like I want to keep. It's like, well, this is making a choice to move away from this. It's like, if you move away from this, it will be a new way of building and creating in relationships. And with the 3 of Swords, I feel like because this came out reversed, and I was kind of like contemplating the way that it works reversed, even, this is not a very good card. It means that heartbreak happens, but it's like, does it happen again? Does it happen worse this time? Does it happen repeatedly? Like, because you haven't learned from the trauma, your heart hasn't healed from the trauma of the things that have happened before. And so, you know, I know that a lot of this reading has been totally directed at you and your habits, and I don't mean to like point a finger, but I think that your guides want you to know, or whatever higher power you believe in, the universe wants you to know that you need to focus on your habits in order to create and manifest these healthy relationships, because they're not just gonna fall in your lap and happen. Like, you have to put in this work for what you want. And I feel like you're being tested by being offered something to you that might not necessarily be a long-term relationship. I mean, we have the 2 of Cups, which is like soulmate energy, but I'm not seeing anything about this person. So I think for any of you, this might be different. This might just be somebody that you spend a couple years with, or a couple days, but it's like, you need to be able to prove to yourself, like, that you can be in this healthy relationship, and it will be taken away from you if you do this wrong. And you know, now you have the tools to do this the right way, but you know, you have to still make these choices over and over again. I mean, we have like the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. Those are choices. It's where to go from here, how to react to this situation, what you say, what you do. And it's totally about you right now, and you figuring out these old habits, you figuring it out. I'm drawing some spirit cats Okay, so we have soulmates. So this is what the little picture looks like. It says, meet moon and mirror. It's funny because there's a lot of Pisces energy here, and I was talking about how this person mirrors you. They are perfect reflections of each other. They have so much to teach each other and so much to learn. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun, um, they reflect each other's light back at each other. They are both emanating and reflecting. Look around. Your friends and family are perfect reflections of you. They are in your dream just as you are in their dream, a perfect paradox. So with each interaction, ask yourself, what do I have to learn from you? What do I have to share with you? What are you teaching me about myself? Remember, we are here to help each other grow. This person, whatever you do in this relationship, will do the same exact thing. And that's going to be your recompense. That's how you know that like this is going to go the way that Saturn is planning it, which is like it will respond in kind. This person is going to deliver you that karma. It's not like this person is going to come in and just like bend over and take anything you give them and just be like whatever. This person is going to respond exactly how you do. And so if you start feeling like they're not treating you a certain way, they're not treating you nicely, look at yourself and figure out why you feel that way. Figure out if that's justified. Figure out if you've done the same thing to them. This person is here to serve as good karma for you having learned and having been acquainted with all these lessons. The universe doesn't put you in a situation where you won't be able to deal with it. It's just that we as human beings, we like tend to not learn even though we already know something. There's a tendency to fall back into old habits because it's comfortable, because we're self-sabotaging, and there's a lot of different reasons that this can happen, and so it happens a lot. And don't be critical of yourself. Don't get too worried. This is being given to you because you can accomplish it. It's just, you know, any of your like toxic traits, I think you really need to kind of evaluate and think about, and really think about how you're not going to go down that road again. I hope that that makes sense. I'm gonna draw you a universe has your back, which is like kind of an advice on manifesting, on living like in an aligned way, getting into like the void if you do, or it's not the void, it's the vortex. Getting into the vortex if you do, I already am seeing love here, but getting into the vortex if you do like law of attraction or Course in Miracles, anything like that. So I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy that this is exactly what I've been saying. Like, I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. So this is coming in to teach you about your fears and about the darkness that you're experiencing. I mean, this literally couldn't be more perfect. Yeah, it's like you have a choice here. Are you choosing to go this way, or are you choosing to go this way again? And no judgment at all. None whatsoever if you are going in this direction, again, because we all have to learn on our own path. Just know, you know, maybe you can say to yourself, I'm not ready to learn this right now. I need to focus on something else. But I think a lot of you are, and a lot of you want this, and it might be a little bit of a struggle, and there might be some times where you're like, oh, I've gone and mucked it all up. Like, no. I think you're going to have a couple chances with this person. I think they're going to be forgiving because they feel so strongly about you, and you feel so strongly about them. Soulmates here. I said soulmates earlier, I think, with the Two of Cups. It's a soulmate energy. It's a new energy, and this is like a test. This is an opportunity. Yeah, I hope that this is helpful. I really loved this reading. I think it is so beautiful, and I would really love to hear if it resonates with you. And yeah, please share if you know this has any resonance with your situation. And I hope that you have a great month, a great year, a great everything, and I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Bye.